Alright, so this is probably going to be like a super short video, but as you can see, you can look at the build on the left. Let's just reset red and red pot. So unlike the other videos, this is probably the most likely scenario that you can actually get a one-shot build off of. So obviously, Kuku passive, right? The more mana you have, the more damage you do, right? A lot of mana, a lot of mana, a lot of mana, a lot of mana, and gives you damage for as much mana you have. So it's 10 magical power for every 10% of mana that you have. Right? Spear of the Magus, seen it before. Do an extra 7.5%. So if we're gonna be honest, right, Kuku one shot. Hit it. We all know that. Or not. Oh, I didn't have red pot. Anyways, scratch that. Right. So you're a mid laner, you're most likely gonna have red buff. Right. You're most likely gonna have red pot as well. Let me pop it, make sure.
Take flight.
Let's reset these cooldowns. But like, we all know that Kuku will eventually just like one-shot somebody. Why are you alive?
Here comes the surrender.
Was it the other build that I did? That one shot? Let's see. This is a build I didn't really like recommend because double stacking isn't the best unless you like a Baba Yaga. But alright, let's also put the reduced cooldowns on. Alright. So was it this one that one shot?
Slap
There you go.
those cheeks.
So that's foregoing a starter item. That's, you know, not really like a good thing, right? So I guess like you would go your starter item, right? You would go your let's see, what would it be? You can either go Sense Time. I wouldn't recommend Conduit Gem because your main clear is a dot, so you don't really stack up the passive well. So either go Vamp Shroud or Sense of Time, right? Don't upgrade it if you want to do this build, but it's not really the way I would play Kuku, where I'm trying to one-shot somebody with my ult, because, you know, the ult's on a cooldown that's longer than most abilities, and this is why I personally wouldn't do this, but I would actually go Pendulum of Aegis, not because of the ult, but because of this. So actually, let me go get red. You'll see what in a second. So yeah, your ult one-shots, right? But so does your one auto combo.
Slain an enemy.
And I'm gonna go take off the cooldowns, and with this build, right, you can either have an ult that one-shots every 63 seconds, or your one can do it every basically 5 seconds. So it's a lot more combat efficient than like true like I'm gonna throw out my ult and one-shot somebody. Sure, like it does a lot, and I guess you can auto off of it, but like it's such a fast combo where like, look, I'll drag him into the fight, right? Say we're fighting, it's something that you can't really react to, and it's over. Because you can, for lack of better terms, you can buffer in and auto attack in the animation of the one. So as soon as your one is done coming out, you start your auto attack.
Pentakill.
And you can't really react to it. I think I have a couple videos on my channel where I do a build similar to this, and you see me just chunking people, right, with the one auto combo. And a lot of people complain about his tornado because, like, the tornado will, you know, eventually just sit down and do a lot of damage.
Insane.
Sure, right? Like, let's say we only hit him with one tick of the tornado, right? We'll let him come out of it. So it won't truly one-shot them unless you like place it right. So like he's gonna have to walk through this entire tornado, or you can alternate like an idiot and, you know, take more damage, and then he'll die. Which takes more skill than just hitting a one and then autoing. Like, it's disgusting. Like, people complain about the ult and the 3 because, yeah, sure, they do a lot of damage, right? But that's not even the thing, right? Look at the scaling on this ability. So if you don't know what the scaling, it's the blue number in the bottom right. Right. Most scaling is like with the build, the scaling is disgusting. So like even with the tornado, right? The scaling's kind of busted on the tornado because it's every tick, right? And then the ult does an extra 1,300, right? But like you could do that,
The surrender.
or you could just do this, or you know you can miss your auto.
Catch these hands.
But and that's because you know he's surviving because I don't have red buff. But it's honestly not, you know, uncommon for the mid laner to have both red camp and red pot up. And we'll watch when red pot pots off how he basically survives with the same amount. But just having
It's
these,
not
like, you
even
one
a
shot,
challenge.
it's instant. It's like a headshot in, you know, PUBG or something, right? It's just you have no reaction time to it. So like that's without red pot. He survives with pretty much 1 health. We'll buy this for later. So we'll pop this. We'll show it underneath. Obviously the Ra's the squishiest one. Underneath, I think she survives with a little bit. Yeah,
You have
but
slain an
that's
enemy.
all her health. We'll check on Thor. Yeah. So
Smell my
yeah.
double kill.
Check on the Guan. Obviously, we're scaling up with protections and health. But like, even a tank, right? You're
Triple kills.
shredding them.
My path ends. My path ends.
Like, and the fact that they're also
Give me
slow,
my penta.
To offer.
so that like, if say he uses wall on his freeze and, you know, he's forced to fight me, but I hit my 1 auto and then I just slowly back up and I just fucking
Okay, I'm
hit him to death with autos.
insane.
Take flight.
Let's go reset red. Obviously with better scaling. I think his ult has better scaling. Yeah. His ult has the most scaling. So we'll pop this, see how much this does. Yeah, leaves him
Here
1 shot.
comes the surrender.
Like, it's not as common to have a 3k pot, but you're still pretty much 1 shot.
Catch these hands.
Obviously, you have to have your poly up and your Sphere of the Magus up to get the increased damage, but it's,
Oh,
you know,
baby, it's a
it's
triple.
doable. And then, you know what, we'll show ult, how much that does.
Quadra kill.
So, I mean, it's kind of dumb how much damage he does. But then, let's say we're in a team fight, right? And we have support, pops Frenzy, and we so happen to walk over the Bracer. Let's just, you know. I forgot to put that back so I don't have to wait. Alright, so that's
These
without
guys
Bracer.
are trash.
To offer.
Or not Bracer, Frenzy. Stop Frenzy with Bracer. We'll wait for our ult.
Clap
And our ult
those
1 shot.
cheeks.
I mean, it's not the most likely scenario, but we might 1 shot the Guan here with just Bracer and these other ones.
Double kill.
Yeah. So it's not the most common. Obviously, they'll have protection, so you won't be
Triple kill.
shredding them this bad. But like,
Give me my penta.
yeah, like you will just shred people with this build.
I hope you were
Penta kill.
See, and that's the thing too, right? Like, if you're getting chased, right? Like, say you're coming through this hallway and you have the entire team behind you. You put this down, they can't go through it, or else they're gonna take pretty much all their health. Like, as you've seen with the character, right? So, like, even if they just get, like, hit by the tiniest amount, right? That's one tick, right?
It's
Just
not
getting in
even
there for
a
one.
challenge.
Basically just getting hit by it. But if you optimize the placement, they have to run through all of it, they're gonna die.
Catch these
She didn't die
hands.
because I had... Or, Spear of the Magus wasn't up. But, with Spear of the Magus up... Right, she'll die. Or, I mean, you kind of get the point. She's
baby,
one
it's a
shot.
triple.
No one's gonna choose to run through that.
Quadra kill.
See, like, that's still something I... Like, as a person who plays Kuku a lot, it's something that annoys me, right? Where it's like, oh, the tornado's busted, blah, 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 blah. But, like, you look at the one, you just do this and you one-tap somebody. Like, there's no reaction time to it. They're just, hey, you're dead.
Okay, I'm f***ing insane.
And obviously the old one-shot squishies. Or not. Why?
Penta kill.
Why do you gotta do this to me, game? Make me look like I don't know what I'm talking about. But, yeah. I mean, even if you look at like an Odin buy here, right? Just watch the numbers. 200 every tick. Right. Then we look at the damage here. We did, was it 2.7k with just the tornado, minus 700 because of protections. He took all 13 hits of damage. So what is that, like 19k that he took just from that? Alright, so 19k from that. Then we'll check this. So let's see. Auto did, let's see, what would that be? 220 plus 1,000 minus 200, so 8. So that's 1,000 damage plus Poly did an extra, what would that be? 6k or 600. So that would be 1,600 damage compared to whatever we said about the tornado. I forgot. But the thing is, like, no one's gonna stand in the tornado for the entire duration of the ability, right? You're probably gonna get 1 or 2 of those 13, right? So, like, let's place it to where we'll, like, say if they barely walk through it at the minimum range, right? We'll put it barely on her, so where she get hit, walk forward.
You have slain an enemy.
So you get 6, right? Which is basically half the damage. And just to make sure we didn't kill her too early.
These guys are trash.
Yeah, so 6. So at minimum, stepping in it at all will get you 6 hits of damage. Yeah, and then you just shred objectives, but to be fair, I think it's because it's still set at 0. Also, this build isn't a bad build. It's not like the other one-shot air quote builds that like that you need like very particular like setup for stuff. Like that was with no relics, no red camp, no red buff, no anything, no just, and it's gone. And let's see if we just want to like hyper secure it, right? We just hold auto, like it's gone. This god's like insane with the amount of damage you can build just by getting mana. But like if you want to go the most efficient with, or I wouldn't say efficient, but the most like raw damage, then you would build Warlock Staff because it gives you more raw power, but you won't.
Here comes the surrender.
Like your one auto combo won't be up as often. But let's see, anything else? Towers. Actually, this is a good one too, right here. So Unlike the other builds that rely heavily on crit, this doesn't. This is pure power pen. So you actually do a lot of damage to towers. Let's buy this and this just to show you. So, just with red camp, right? You see a tower, walk in, boom, right? You're doing like an extra 200 on your autos. That's just with red camp, and you're not gonna be tanking the tower by yourself. You know, you're probably gonna have minions or some form of like other teammate. Now we'll pop 500 pot, walk in. Gotta make sure you get your poly prots in there. Yeah, so you do some pretty good damage. Popping your 2 to activate your poly so you don't actually waste your abilities is pretty good. I should actually turn this off, right? But, you know, usually if there's an enemy team behind the tower, you'll walk in, throw your tornado like behind the tower over here somewhere for like zoning. What's more likely to happen? A frenzy, a bracer, or a 3k pot? I'd probably say now, maybe a bracer. Alright, so we're gonna walk in with the bracer ability. Almost got it. But alright. 3k or frenzy with bracer is the question. Probably 3k is the next most likely one to happen. So let's actually just reset this. Yeah, as you can see, you shred. 3k pots give you a lot of pen and tower damage. Let's see, 3k pot, let's actually look at it. 25%. Yeah. Increase damage to structures by 25%, grants 10% penetration for 6 minutes. Yeah. So, yeah, that's with that, and we'll just pop Frenzy as well, just for the hell of it. And then, you know, the tower is basically gone. And also the benefit too is that you have Bancroft, so the more health, like or technically having less health makes you do more damage. Let's see how much just we do here. So like you can almost solo a tower. Oh, I actually got it on my dying auto. But yeah, like, you know, does decent tower damage. And then we'll just reset Frenzy very quick, see how much we can do by ourselves on Fire Giant. It's at 30, right? Cool. So we're just gonna Nova here very quick. And the good thing with this, compared to the tower, is that we actually lifesteal after this. We're gonna get knocked up here. Did I not use Frenzy? Well, I didn't use Frenzy, so we would have taken that a lot faster.
Dragon Slayers think they know how to defeat me.
And it would be kind of unfair to do it with the Fire Giant buff, because it's physically impossible to have two at the same time. And I kind of don't feel like dying, so I guess I'll just call the video here. But, you know, we'll just one-shot the gold 3 again when our ult comes up. Hold on. Did I one-shot it with my ult? And did that auto not hit, or did that auto hit? Can't really tell. Yeah. Okay, cool. Just one hit it with my ult. So, yeah, with all these buffs, did 3k to the gold fury. So, you know, not really many cons to this. I mean, you don't have Matt's cooldown, but with 500 pot and with the build itself, you have 30%, which isn't bad.
It's not even a challenge.
You're obviously going to go Beads and Aegis. You're not going to go Bracer and Frenzy. No defense because you're a mage. What else? What else? I don't know. There's not really too much, like, bad about this build. It's just... Well, I guess I could find one thing bad about it is that you don't have enough penetration. So, like, taints are going to be your main issue. Yeah, like, all you have is 10 flat pen from Spear the Magus. Oh no, you have 10% as well from Typhon's Fang. So, you know, it's lacking on pen. So, a good counter to this would be, like, high defense. Right? That's why if you look at, like, the Ymir, right, he can kind of, using air quotes here, kind of take the damage. But you gotta remember he will be building defensive items, so he won't be getting 2-3 shot like that.
Double kill?
The ult, on the other hand, might, like, it might,
Triple kill.
depending upon what buffs I have active, but no, I'm not even gonna lie. The ult probably won't. Just there's not enough pen in this build.
They are getting bamboozled.
But besides that, besides the lack of pen, I think that's the only downside. You know, you're not Matt's cooldown, I guess, is the other downside, but you still have 30%, which isn't bad. Yeah, I think that's it. Like, I don't really see any other downsides. So yeah, alright, this is where we're actually gonna call the video. Hope you enjoyed.